once you cut the edges, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Because you want it a bit granularly, because that's where you get your grit.
Hello guys, Groundwork Berserk here. You know me. If you don't know me, keep watching the content and you'll soon get to know me. I am here to teach you tricks of the trade, stuff you might not know, stuff you probably do know. You might be new to the industry, you might be wanting to learn stuff about the building game, foundations, concrete, groundwork. I've got your back. So this is a nice little job we've just done today. This is in Croydon, Croydon in Surrey, the LBC, the London Borough. The client has already shuttered the area, and you can see in the background there they've got an industrial unit. They need to drive a van up to it. They've already put a tarmac ramp up to it, but they got it wrong. They got it too low, and now they've asked us to come in and concrete it. So they've done the shuttering, brilliant. And now what we're doing is we're literally just building it up with a lot cheaper option, which is crushed concrete. So yeah, let's have a little look at this. We're just going to fill it up with crushed concrete, and then we'll concrete the whole thing after. But obviously it's pointless doing 20 cube of concrete at £140 a cube when you can buy crushed concrete for £20 a cube. Makes sense, and obviously just as strong. So interestingly, you can see us here. We've put our camera on top of the clamshell bucket of the grab lorry, and you can see there's not a lot in there. He ain't got a lot to work with. We ordered 5 ton. We think they came with about 3.5 ton. Whatever it was they had on the van, on the lorry, wasn't enough. And it was wet. We had a lot of rain the night before. So we called them up, this firm, and to their credit, don't worry, what do you need? We'll bring you 10 ton and take what you want, and we got you covered. So yeah, we having a little look here. We didn't do the shuttering here. Another firm did it. In fact, the owner did this. The client did this. Yeah, they've done a really nice job. They've tied it all into the ground, into these block pavers. They've tied it all into the wall. You can see lots of supports, and you can see on this first part of the ramp, we've just compacted it as much as we can, and here's Lee here compacting it with a whacker plate. Now, it's not ideal. If you can see this here, look on the left side here, we've got, this is all going to be viewable, but because the tarmac is under there, that's staying, and we've had the concrete up down to it. So it's a bit of a weird setup, but hopefully once all the hoarding is taken away and it's all struck, it should look really good. So yeah, we made 7 passes with a whacker plate, get it compacted as much as we can. Ideally, you really want to compact it in 150mm levels. We're about 250 there, so, you know, we're taking a mickey. But this is after we poured the concrete. I have to apologise. In the panic of the concrete being delivered, I always forget to film it. But look, what we've done is at the top section, there's 2 sections, obviously. That's a little bit wetter, and we tried to make it dry, but the height of it compared to the concrete lorry means we really struggled with it. So the top is a little bit wetter. The lower section that is more of an angle is drier. So we're hoping we can kind of work these at the same time. So the intention was that we didn't put any DPM underneath. We got a dry crushed concrete beneath the concrete. We're pouring a C40 here, which is quite a strong cement mix, which is also going to dry out faster. And actually, the combination of all those things, everything lined up just nicely at the end, and you'll see when we start finishing it. But it's very difficult to work concrete on an angle like this, because what it does is as it slumps, it kind of wants to fall down the slope.
You do have to be careful. If it dries out too fast, it'll crack, it'll shrink, and it'll crack. So there's a real fine balance you have to find. But what we'll probably do now is leave this another half hour. We'll come back and feel it. And you can tell if it's going to work or not. Look, that's just going to slump. As soon as we start tamping, it's just going to slump and it's all going to shift down. So we'll wait for it to go off a little bit longer. This dry gear at the bottom, that's worked out really well. That's almost ready to float.
Give it a little bit longer.
A little bit of a tamp, we'll float it, yeah.
Jump in and we'll walk up and we'll just half level this out a bit.
Alright guys, that is the concrete in. We've floated it once, twice? One time.
One
One time we floated that. We've started running the edge to stop it spalling. If you don't know what that does, if you leave a square edge on the concrete, it spalls, which means basically it chips. It's called spalling. So we use a trowel that's got a curve on it. I don't know what that's called, that trowel. Is it called an edging trowel? Yeah. And that gives the concrete a curve which stops it chipping. So that's a tool worth having if you're going to mess around with concrete. It is still really wet. Let's have a little feel. Now see there, it's just starting to leave fingerprints. That's kind of where you want to be. You want to brush that soon, and we are going to brush this. So we'll probably give this another 5 minutes. I might even just get the float on it now.
So it's really important here to mention you shouldn't float the concrete when it's too wet. If you do that, this is one of the best tips I can give you today. If you float it when it's too wet, when there's a lot of water on the top, and it's not uncommon for it to be too wet, you will push the water under the surface of the concrete. Now what that will do is it will delaminate later on after a couple of weeks, a week. Take your time, don't rush it. Let the concrete go off a bit. Keep feeling it. You saw my fingerprints. That's kind of where you want to be. That's a nice time to float it. If there's a lot of water on there, give it time. Don't rush it. It takes a lot of years and experience, and it took me many years to not rush that kind of work. Because your temptation is, it's going to dry. And yeah, it might. But, only experience really tells you. But the best concrete guys, they know when to work it. They know when to leave it alone.
You taking this lorry now, mate? Driver, you taking this lorry? Where's he gone?
Are you taking the lorry, mate? Oh yeah, he's just putting his camera up on the side of it.
It's alright, I moved it.
Was she talking to me just now?
Yeah. I was like, you rude motherfucker, just ignoring us.
I do apologise, mate.
It's cool, man.
I was miles away. I was fucking...
Cool, don't do it again, alright?
Don't do it again, yeah?
And so we kind of got our concrete, we've got a nice level, we got it nice and smooth. This is a similar float to the one I was using to float with. I don't like the big blue floats. I like these floats. And this one has got a brush attachment. You can see it's like a great big long broom. There's a lot of things going on here. The reason we brush it is because it's a ramp. We want it to be grippy. We don't want it to be smooth. We want it to be rough as we can. And that's what you get with a brush. And not only does it give it grip, it's a nice effect actually. And it's very forgiving if your concrete isn't perfect. Run a brush across it like this and, it hides a multitude of sins, which is, if you're a ground worker, that's a great trick to have. You can see us pushing the brush as we work it, and that's simply because the fall was trying to push the brush down the slab. We can't have that. We want it as, as straight as we can get it.
Yeah. Once you cut the edges, that'd be nice.
Yes.
Because you want it a bit granularly, because that's where you get your grit.
Right, got it?
Go on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Some of you do.
I looked because I thought
Right, nice and straight.
That's good. Steve.
Come in a bit more, that's good. More? Yeah. Less. That's the best we're going to get there, El.
Yeah, that's good, Steve, because...
Tell you what, we didn't want to leave that any longer.
No.
Yeah, and so that's kind of all brushed now. You can see the rough finish. It's nice. And here's Ellis now with the edging trowel. We've gone over this about 3 or 4 times with the edging trowel, and the more you work it, the better result you get. You know, every step we'll redo this edge. But Ellis has got a really nice touch with the trowel, actually. You can see here, he just work it nice, he keep playing with it. But he's being very soft and gentle. He's not leaving a big edge, and there you go. Nice finish. Enjoy.